I, 29 male, was sitting at my desk Thursday morning when Becca, 27, walked into our bedroom and dropped the bomb. We've been together 5 years, living together for 3. I need to tell you something, she said, not even looking nervous. Just excited? I'm leaving you. I looked up from my laptop. What? She literally squealed. Squealed. Remember when I posted that vacation photo from Miami last month? This guy messaged me. Garrett. He's a millionaire real estate developer, and he's obsessed with me. He's been flying me out on weekends. Those girls' trips suddenly made sense. He bought me a Cartier bracelet just for answering his DM. Look, she waved her wrist at me like I should be impressed. He says I'm too beautiful to be wasting my life in this mediocre apartment with someone who drives a Honda. I drive a Civic. It's paid off. But okay, so you've been cheating on me. It's not cheating when you're trading up, she said, actually serious. Garrett explained it to me. Some people are meant for ordinary lives, and some people are meant for extraordinary ones. I'm extraordinary. She went on for 20 minutes about his yacht, his penthouses, plural, his connections, how he was going to introduce her to society people, how she was finally going to live the life she deserved. My flight to Dubai is tomorrow. He's taking me shopping there before we go to his place in Monaco. She started pulling designer bags from the closet, bags I'd never seen before. Oh, and I'll need you to ship the rest of my stuff to his Boston address. I'll text it to you. I just sat there. You want me to ship your things? To your new millionaire boyfriend's house. Well, yeah, I can't take everything on the plane. Don't be difficult about this, Jordan. We both know this relationship ran its course. We've been talking about marriage 2 months ago. But whatever. She left that afternoon for a hotel, said she couldn't stand being in this energy anymore. I waited until she was gone, then opened Instagram. Finding Garrett took 5 minutes. His profile was public, lots of suits, cars, watches. Boston real estate developer. About 50K followers. The kind of guy who posts motivational quotes over pictures of himself. But here's the thing. I'm a paralegal. I know how to research people. Garrett Hutchinson wasn't single. Married for 12 years to Diane Hutchinson, senior partner at Hutchinson & Associates. Yeah, she was that kind of lawyer. Her firm's website showed a woman who looked like she could destroy you with a smile. I spent 3 hours that night going through everything. Becca's iPad was still logged into our shared cloud. Screenshots of their conversations flooded in. This dude was promising her everything. Apartment, shopping sprees, introducing her as his business partner at events. He convinced her to quit her job last week. She told me she was taking a sabbatical to find herself. The messages got worse. He was coaching her on what to say to me, telling her she was meant for the finer things, that regular guys like me were genetic dead ends, that she needed to secure her future before her looks faded. But the jackpot? Him explicitly saying his wife was too busy with her little law practice to notice anything, that Diane was in depositions all week, that she was cold and wouldn't understand a passionate connection. I took screenshots of everything. Finding Diane's email was easy. It was on a firm website. I created a throwaway Gmail and started typing. Subject, your husband is planning to run away with my girlfriend. I attached everything, every screenshot, every timestamp, the flight confirmations he'd sent Becca, the hotel reservations in Dubai, the business dinner receipts from when he was supposedly at conferences. I hit send at 2 a.m. The response came at 6:47 a.m. Thank you for this information. Please provide your contact details if you're willing to verify these documents. Time is of the essence. I replied with my real email and phone number. Diane called me at 7:15 a.m. Her voice was crisp, professional, and absolutely terrifying. Jordan, I'm going to need you to forward me the original files. My forensic specialist needs to verify metadata. Can you confirm your girlfriend's full legal name and date of birth? I gave her everything. Is she currently in possession of any gifts from my husband? She mentioned a Cartier bracelet. Some bags. Probably more. I see. And her flight is tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. from Logan to Dubai. Excellent. Jordan, you've been very helpful. I'll be in touch. Update 1. Holy hell, you guys want an update? Buckle up. So Friday morning, I woke up to 23 missed calls from Becca. The text started at 4 a.m. What did you do? Jordan, answer me. This isn't funny. Garrett won't answer. Jordan, I didn't respond. Blocked her number and went to work. My coworker showed me Becca's Instagram story later. She was at the airport, filming herself in first-class lounge, champagne in hand, captioning everything, living my best life, airplane, nail polish, and some people stay ordinary, some of us level up gemstone. At 2:47 p.m., she posted, boarding soon. Dubai, here I come. White heart. At 3:23 p.m., the story stopped. At 4:15 p.m., I got a call from an unknown number. It was Becca, crying so hard she could barely speak. Jordan, what did you do? They pulled me off the plane. The police pulled me off the plane. Who pulled you off? I don't know. Security and actual cops. They served me papers in front of everyone. People were filming. Garrett's wife is suing me. She's suing me for alienation of affection and intentional infliction of emotional distress. It says I owe her $500,000. I stayed quiet. This psycho had investigators. They have pictures of me at his properties. They have the bracelet serial number. They froze his cards. My hotel reservation got canceled while I was standing there. Where's Garrett? He blocked me. He blocked me on everything. His phone goes straight to voicemail. Jordan, you have to help me. I need a lawyer. I thought you were extraordinary. Extraordinary people don't need help from Honda drivers. She started screaming about how I ruined her life, how I was jealous, how I couldn't handle her happiness. I hung up, but here's where it gets good. Diane called me an hour later. Jordan, I wanted to thank you again. We've located $63,000 in gifts and cash transfers to your girlfriend over the past month. My husband will be receiving his own papers shortly. 63,000? Oh yes, he was quite generous with marital assets. The bracelet alone was 18,000. Did you know about the shopping sprees? I didn't. Well, she's been quite busy. Neiman Marcus, Saks, Bergdorf. All on credit cards he opened without my knowledge. Credit cards paid from our joint investment account. Jesus. Additionally, I've discovered 6 other women he's been cultivating. Your girlfriend was just the latest. Although she was the only one naive enough to quit her job. Diane thanked me again and hung up. Professional to the end. Update 2. This just keeps getting better/worse, depending on how you look at it. So Becca's been blowing up my phone from different numbers. I finally answered one call because I'm weak and curious. Big mistake, but also comedy gold. She was staying at her mom's house. Apparently, she went straight there from the airport and her mom, Darlene, had some thoughts. I could hear Darlene in the background. You quit your job for a married man? Are you insane? We didn't raise you to be a home wrecker. MOM. I'm not a home wrecker. I'm a victim. Y'all. She really said that. She tried to convince me that Garrett had manipulated her, that he preyed on her dreams, that she was vulnerable and he took advantage. Becca, you literally told me you were extraordinary and I was ordinary. I was confused. You got in my head. You said I was a genetic dead end. I didn't mean it like that. How else could you mean that? She pivoted to asking me to testify on her behalf, to tell Diane's lawyers that she was coerced, that Garrett was the pursuer. You have screenshots of you calling him daddy and asking for a Birkin bag. Everyone does pet names. You sent him photos and lingerie he bought you while I was at work. In our apartment. Silence. Then she hit me with, if you ever loved me, you'll help me. I laughed. Actually laughed. If you ever loved me, you wouldn't have been flying to Dubai with another man. But then, this is the best part, she tried to move back into the apartment. She showed up Sunday with a U-Haul. Just showed up with her mom and her brother Cody, who looked like he wanted to be anywhere else. I'm moving back in while I figure things out, she announced. No, you're not. My name is on the lease. Was on the lease. You removed yourself last week, remember? When you were securing your future? I have the email where you confirmed with management. Her face went white. See, when she thought she was moving to Boston with Garrett, she'd removed herself from the lease so she wouldn't have any ties to her old life. She'd literally written that in the email to our property manager. I had a copy because she'd CC'd me to handle any remaining issues. You can't just leave me homeless. You were about to leave me. The only difference is your millionaire turned out to be married. Darlene started yelling at her in the parking lot. You removed yourself from the lease for a man you met on Instagram. Cody just shook his head and got back in the truck. They left after Darlene spent 10 minutes lecturing her about personal responsibility. I heard her say, "Your father would be ashamed," at least 3 times. Update 3. Okay, so shit has officially hit the fan in ways I didn't expect. Remember those other 6 women Diane mentioned? Yeah, they found each other. There's a whole WhatsApp group now. One of them reached out to me because apparently Becca is trying to rally them to sue Garrett together, and they wanted to know if I had more screenshots. These women are savage. They're sharing everything: messages, gifts, promises he made. One woman, Rita, is a forensic accountant. She's been tracking all his spending patterns. Another one, Keiko, is a social media manager who's documented everything. But here's the twist. Becca is the only one being sued by Diane. Why? Because Becca was the only one who knew he was married and continued anyway. The other women showed me their conversations with Garrett. He told each of them he was divorced, separated, or single. But Becca? I found messages where she specifically asked about his wife, where he told her the truth, where she said, and I quote, "What she doesn't know won't hurt her kiss mark." The other women are pissed at Becca. Rita sent me screenshots of Becca trying to get them a lie, to say they all knew about Diane. Try to make it seem like she wasn't the only knowing accomplice. But the real drama came yesterday. Garrett finally surfaced. This absolute genius tried to spin it as a midlife crisis. Posted a notes app apology on Instagram about how he lost his way and was seeking therapy and working on his marriage. Diane commented, "Just 3 words, see you in court." She's divorcing him. And according to Rita, who apparently knows everyone in Boston's financial district, Diane's lawyer sister is handling it. They're going scorched earth. But here's the part that actually made me feel bad for about 2 seconds. Becca's old job won't take her back. Word got around small industry. She's been applying everywhere, but that 3-week gap where she quit to pursue other opportunities is killing her. She called me last night. Different energy this time. Quiet. Defeated, maybe? I'm messed up. Yeah. Really messed up. I owe Diane's lawyers $500,000 I don't have. My mom won't speak to me. My dad called me from Florida just to say he's disappointed. My brother told his friends, and now everyone knows. I didn't say anything. Garrett sent me $3,000. Total. That's all he sent before everything froze. I quit my job for $3,000 and some designer bags I have to return. And a Cartier bracelet. They took that at the airport. Evidence. We sat in silence for a minute. "Jordan, do you think you could?" "No. You don't even know what I was going to ask. You were going to ask me to lend you money for a lawyer." Longer silence. "I was going to ask if you'd consider being a character witness. To say I'm not a gold digger." "Becca, you left me for someone you thought was rich. That's literally gold digging. I left you for love. You left me for Dubai shopping sprees." She hung up. Final update. All right, this is the last update because honestly, I'm ready to move on with my life. But you deserve to know how this train wreck ended. The legal stuff moved fast. Diane wasn't playing around. Turns out when you're senior partner at your own firm and have a forensic evidence team on retainer, things happen quickly. Garrett's divorce was brutal. Diane had everything. Not just the affairs, but financial fraud. He'd been hiding assets, moving money offshore, the works. She got the house in Boston, the vacation home in Vermont, and 70% of everything else. Girl didn't just win, she annihilated him. But Becca's situation, man. She had to get a public defender because no lawyer would take her case on contingency. The evidence was that bad. The defender tried to argue that she was emotionally manipulated, but Diane's team had. Screenshots of Becca Googling Garrett's net worth. Messages where she calculated how much she could extract from him. A literal spreadsheet she'd made of gift goals. That message about what she doesn't know won't hurt her. The judge didn't throw out the alienation of affection claim. It's going to trial unless Becca settles. Here's where it gets interesting, though. Last week, I get a call from Diane. She wants to meet for coffee. I'm thinking maybe she needs more evidence or something. Nope. This woman wanted to thank me. In person. She bought my coffee and everything. Jordan, you saved me years of my life. Years of not knowing. Years of wondering why things fell off. She told me Garrett had been doing this for a decade. The therapy excuse was BS. He'd been in therapy for 6 years already. He just liked the thrill. Your girlfriend was sloppy, though, she said. The others were smart enough to play dumb about me. She thought she was special because she knew the truth. Then Diane did something I didn't expect. She slid a check across the table. What's this? A finder's fee. My forensic team would have charged me 3 times this just to discover what you gave me for free. $10,000. I tried to refuse it, but she insisted. Consider it karma's way of saying you're one of the good ones. I used part of it to move to a better apartment. 1. Without memories of Becca planning her escape to a better life. Speaking of Becca, last I heard through mutual friends. She's working at a call center because nowhere in her industry will touch her. Living with her mom, who makes her pay rent. Agreed to a payment plan with Diane's lawyers for $50,000, down from $500,000. That'll take her 10 years to pay off. Garrett never contacted her again. The other 6 women in the WhatsApp group blocked her after she tried to sell her story to a tabloid. Oh, and the best part? Garrett's now dating a 23-year-old bartender who thinks he's still rich. Diane sent me a laughing emoji about it. We're weird friends now. She sends me memes about terrible exes. As for me, I'm good. Actually good. Started dating this girl from my hiking group. Eleanor's a teacher, drives a beat-up Subaru, and thinks designer bags are stupid. When I told her this whole story, she laughed so hard she cried. Wait, she really said you were a genetic dead end? Yup. Bro, you have a full head of hair and run marathons. Meanwhile, she thought Instagram DMs were a solid life plan. Eleanor's good people. Last thing, Becca made one final attempt 2 weeks ago. Sent me this long email about how we were meant to be and how she'd grown from this experience and could we start fresh. I forwarded it to Diane with Becca's email address visible and replied to Becca with just, "No thanks. I'm extraordinary now." Blocked her email after that. That's it. That's the whole messy, ridiculous story. Garrett lost his marriage and most of his money. Becca lost her job, reputation, and financial freedom for the next decade. Diane got justice and a new start. And me? I got a better apartment, a great girlfriend, and a knowledge that sometimes the best revenge is just letting people face the consequences of their own choices. Thanks for following along, Reddit. Remember, if someone calls you ordinary while they're cheating on you, they're probably about to do something extraordinarily stupid. Edit. Since everyone's asking, yes, Diane and I still text. She sent me a photo yesterday of her at her new beach house with the caption, "Cheaters fund the best revenge beaches." She's living her best life. Edit 2. For those asking about the WhatsApp group of women, Rita, the forensic accountant, started dating one of Diane's lawyer friends. They met during the divorce proceedings. Sometimes chaos brings people together. Edit 3. And, I'm not sharing anyone's social media. Let these people rebuild their lives in whatever peace they can find. Except Garrett. He's still posting motivational quotes over selfies. Some people never learn.